Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have an exciting topic to dive into. If you are involved in the network management or automation, you are in for a treat. We are going to talk about Nautobot, an open source network source of truth and automation platform that's making waves in the network automation community. Imagine having a centralized hub for all your network data, a source of truth, a place where you can effortlessly manage inventory, IP addresses, circuits, configurations, and many, many more. That's exactly what Nautobot brings to the table. But here's the best part. We are not just going to talk about it. We are going to show you how to get it up and running on your system. By the end of this video, you will be equipped with the knowledge to harness the power of Nautobot for your network infrastructure. So whether you are a seasoned network pro or just starting your journey into network automation, this video is for you. Buckle up because we are about to demystify the installation process and set you on the path to network automation success. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update from our channel. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, in order for you to set up Nautobot, you must have a compatible OS as Ubuntu or CentOS or even container platforms such as Docker and Kubernetes. You will also need the sudo credentials for the OS you are using, and finally, some basic understanding of the Linux commands so that this makes sense to you guys. The very first thing now is that I will open up a web browser and go to Nautobot documentation. So I'll type Nautobot documentation. And as you can see, the very first link is what we are interested in, but that depends on your search engine that you're using. The URL that you need to watch out for is the docs.nautobot.com. I'll click on the link. And here we've got two different options. What I'm interested in at this point in time is the installation guide. I'll click on that. And as you can see on the left hand side menu, we've got multiple options that we can choose from. And here it shows you all the dependencies that is required in order for us to be able to successfully install Nautobot. So some of the dependencies or mandatory dependencies are Python with minimum version of 3.8, PostgreSQL as a minimum version of 9.6, and so on and so forth. So what I will do, I will click on the installing system dependencies option from the left hand side menu, and then I'll scroll down, and as you can see we're gonna start the process by installing these options. But before we crack on, we will need to connect to the server using a terminal window, which I already did. So if you haven't done so please go ahead and do it. So what I'll do, I'll copy the very first command, sudo apt update -y. That will just be able to update the system before we start the installation process. So you'd need to type in the sudo password. And then we will need to copy the second command. And then move into the third command. And then we just scroll to the right to be able to add the fourth command. And then I'll copy that string as well. And followed by this command. And I will update once more. And the final command is this one. That would take a moment. Brilliant. So this has been completed. So what I will do, I will move into the installing the PostgreSQL. So I'll copy that command, I'll paste it over. Right, now that it's been set up successfully, and what we will need to do is execute that command to be able to create the database and the user account for Nautobot for database. So I'll copy that, I'll paste it in the CLI window. And from here, what we need to do is we need to copy all of that into a notepad and do some modifications. Right. So what you see here is I have just literally populated the commands in question, where I'm going to create the database called Nautobot, and I'm going to create the user account with the password Cisco123, and then I'm going to grant the account all the privileges. So I'll just cancel all of that, and what I'll do, I'll copy all these commands into the CLI and then hit enter. And what you want to see is grant. And what you can do now is you can quit by issuing this command. And now we need to test it, I believe. So we're gonna copy that command to verify the PostgreSQL service status. I'll copy that, paste it, put the password that you've created earlier, and now we are in. And if you wanted to double check which database that we are connected to, you can copy that command and paste it there. And it tells you that the database Nautobot and the username is a Nautobot as well. To exit, again, repeat the same command, Q, and then hit enter. And regarding the Redis setup, we just need to make sure that the Redis has been already set up. So we're going to verify this by issuing that command, and it's confirmed that is set up and is listening. Right, so I believe this has been completed at this point in time for the basic system packages. What we'll do next is we're going to go to the installing Nautobot. So I'll click on that link. And the very first thing that I will do, I'm going to start creating the Nautobot system user. So I'll copy that command. And next, we're going to start setting up the Python virtual environment. So I'll copy that command, paste it in. Now that Python environment has been created, we need now to set the environment variable. So what we'll do, we'll copy this command. We'll paste it on the CLI. And go back to the steps, and what we need to do is to go through the installation process for Nautobot itself, but we will need to change the current user to Nautobot first. So what we'll need to do, we need to copy that command, paste it here, and you will see that the user account has been changed from IEE, for instance, or that would depends on your circumstances, to Nautobot. So currently, the current user is Nautobot, and if you want to verify that, you can issue who am I? Who am I? And you will see that the current user is Nautobot. Right, okay. So first thing we need to do is we need to verify the environment variable equals the right directory, which it does. And then next we need to also echo the path variable. Okay, and following with the which pip3 command, looking good. At this stage, we are ready to go ahead and install Nautobot. So I will issue the pip3 install upgrade pip wheel. So I'm going to copy that command and I'm going to paste it there. And then at that point, we are able to go ahead and install the Nautobot. Again, I would copy that command. I'll paste it there. I'll hit enter. And that might take some time, so bear with. Now we need to verify the Nautobot version. So I'll copy that command, paste it in. And it says version 2.0.1. Next, we will need to initialize the configurations file. So I will copy that command, paste it in. And then we are going to modify the Nautobot underscore config .python file to be able to uncomment the database variable as well as the allowed hosts variable. So what we'll need to do, we need to copy this, and I will be using the vim utility tool. So I'm going to say vim and paste that variable or the path for the Nautobot underscore config.python, and I'm going to hit enter. And first I will set the number. So what I will do, line 17, I'm gonna edit that line, and what I'll do, I'll copy this variable and I'll put the asterisk and I'll close the list, and then I'll go down to the database variable, and then I'll start uncommenting the dictionary. And you need to be very careful with the indentation, as it will throw an exception if the indentation is incorrect. Right. Next, what we need to do is we need to add the Nautobot user for the database we created earlier. And then the password. Obviously, in your case, it will need to be a very secure password. And then once we are done, what we can do next is we need to escape, shift colon, and then save the file and quit. Now that it's been saved. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna copy this command to get the database ready. Okay, folks, the next stage is to then set up the Nautobot account for an admin user to be able to access the GUI interface. So we will go ahead and copy this command. And the username, I'm going to call it admin. Email address, I'll just bypass this. Type the password in. Type it in. And now the super user has been created successfully. Right. So what I'll do next, I will issue the Nautobot server post upgrade. So I will say Nautobot server post upgrade. And that might take some time. so bear with. Now that is this complete, we will need to create a static directory for Nautobot, as it will collect all important files for Nautobot. So I will copy this command and paste it on the CLI. And then next, we're gonna check the Nautobot server. And as you can see, we have no issues. And then we are going to copy this command to check the Nautobot dev server application is up and running. So it says Nautobot initialized, and what we will do, we will open up a new tab and then start typing the IP address of our server. And as you can see, we are able to see the GUI, and this is the dev Nautobot server up and running. And so what I'll do, I will Control C to exit this. So at this point in time, we are ready to proceed with the next phase, which is installing the WSGI application as well as the HTTP server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the browser, cancel this, and click on the next option down, deploy Nautobot services, and I am going to start configuring the uwsgi.ini file. So I'll copy this command, and bear in mind that at that point we are using Nautobot user. So I'm going to go back to the CLI, and I will say sudo or no sudo vim and paste that command and hit enter, and then I will hit the I'll stroke the I key for insert, and then I'll go back to the web browser and then copy all of this config as you see, and then right click to paste it all. I'll escape and then save and quit. So now that file has been created, I'll go to the next step, and at that point we will need to use the system admin account. So we will need to initiate another connection, or what I'll do, I'll just get another session up and running using the IEE account. And what I'll do, I'll copy this command here, go back and say sudo paste that command, and put the password and hit the I key, and then I'll copy this config and I'll paste it in there, save and quit. Now that has been created, move to the next one. Again, I will copy this command, go back there, say sudo vim, paste the command, and to insert the data, I will copy this, I'll paste it, escape, save and quit. And then next we need to do the Nautobot scheduler. So I'll copy that command again, go back, sudo vim, paste that command, stroke the I key, go back to the web browser, copy this, and paste all the config. Save and quit. Okay, so next I will issue this command sudo systemctl daemon reload. And then the following command for the scheduler and the Nautobot worker as well. And then let's verify the service is up and running and active. I'll copy that command, paste it in here, and you can see it is active and running. So we need to quit that. Next, we will need to generate our SSL certificate. Once again, much like what we did with Netbox, I'll go back to the Nautobot documentation and select the next option, which is the configuring an HTTP server. I'll click that link and then I'll scroll down. And what I'll do, I'll copy that command, go back to the CLI. Again, all of these have been done under the admin account. So I will just put that there. Leave everything as default. Now we're gonna start installing the NGINX for our HTTP server. So I'll copy the command, paste it there, hit enter. Next, we will need to kind of like create a file. So it depends on the OS that you're using. It is very imperative to get that right first time. So what I'll do, I'll copy that command since I'm using a Ubuntu server, and I will, again, I'll say sudo paste the command in, and then go back to the web browser and copy all the config that you see on the screen, and paste it in there, save and quit. What we'll do next is we're gonna delete some of the files. So I'll copy that command, paste it there, go back to the web browser, copy the next command, paste it there. And then what we need to do next is we need to restart the NGINX services. I'll copy that command and paste it there. At this point in time, it is the moment of truth where we should be able to log into our Nautobot GUI. But there is one more command that we need to tackle, and we will need to copy that command for the Nautobot user. So I'm going to copy that and paste it on the first CLI session, and I will paste that in and I will hit enter. At this point, we should be able to log into the actual server now without using any port, and let's test it. And as you can see, we get that self-certificate warning. So I'll proceed, and then you can see the GUI is up and running, and now we should be able to log in. So I'll put admin and then the password. And now we have it. So as you can see, we've managed to successfully install Nautobot on our Ubuntu server. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech tutorials. If you have any questions or run into issues, feel free to ask in the comment below. Thanks for watching, and peace, everyone.